this is Cindy. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you've been enjoying the summer. Today I'm going to do a quick unboxing of a few things that I've got lately, and there's some skincare, there's some ready to wear, there's some jewellery, and some of them from high street and some of them are from designer brands. So stay tuned, let's get started. And I'm not sure whether you have done any microneedling treatments either in the salon environment or at home treatments. And I have done both, I could say now, because I've never done home treatments until I found this brand called QURE from Australia. This is designed in Australia, it's made in China. QURE skincare. On Instagram, there's loads of people did videos about this, and also I read their reviews and people had generally very good reviews about this. So I thought I would give a try, because usually when I do some invasive, I would microneedles and piercing the surface of the skin, injecting the serums or whatever enzymes to refresh the skin to reduce fine lines and wrinkles, and so it's one-time treatment. But however, I usually do this in the winter because being Asian, I'm prone to get pigmentation, especially if I'm not careful after the treatment, if I get exposed to sun or if I use some product or something happens and I ended up having a dark patch on my skin, which is not ideal, and I do not like that. So this time I thought it is a system that you can do it at home, and so I thought, why not give a try since the review is quite good. Obviously this is not a sponsored video, and I've bought this with my own money and I just like the review of it, and I thought I'll give a try. The packaging looks quite professional and all clean with this like a Tiffany blue sort of a font. It is handle with care, beauty, clinic inside. On the back it just basically tells you what's in it, and on the inside this is 3 months supply, and you do each treatment with 2 weeks apart. So you can see that on there I've written down the first one, 20th of July. I've done 2 treatments so far. For this one, there's this box is basically just the thing that you screw the serums over it, and this bag is just the needle case. You screw the bottle onto the needle. They gave you instructions on how to use it anyway, but I've used it twice now, and mine is a combined set. Is for reducing fine lines and wrinkles, and also to even out the skin tone. So you can see this one is got a QURE on it, and the other one is in this blue color. Each small bottle is 1 treatment. So when I did this, I mixed these 2 together. So for 1 treatment, I get both reducing fine lines and lightening pigmentation. I haven't really noticed any significant improvements for my skin yet, but you can see that my skin had some unevenness because today I haven't used any foundation on my skin. I just basically did some eye makeup, and look at my fake eyelashes, they look really weird, but I never can really do them properly. But anyways, so you can see this is just my normal skin color. You can see there's some patches, but obviously it's the summer and I burned quite a lot when I was in Japan last year. But I will keep you posted on this, and I'll report back maybe once I use up the first 6 treatments at the end of 3 months, and I'll let you know and how I get on and see whether this is really worthy or not. I can't remember, I think this is like £150. I got 2, but look up for it, and then I got a bundle set. There was some discount. I can't remember how much it was actually. I'll provide a link if you like to have a look yourself. The treatment is fairly straightforward. You just basically, they give you a diagram how you follow it. Basically it's always from inside out, so just 1 needle, just stamp, 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 just follow the instructions. It takes about 20 minutes to do the whole face and the neck, which is quite good because the most aging concerning thing is the line on my neck. I don't know what treatment to do about my neck, because if I really do the oil therapy, they're not going to do the over the thyroid because that's a dangerous area. They only do this lower half of the face. They don't do around the mouth, and they only do the side of the neck. But I'm not sure whether that would make any difference, because look at the lines, it's just very deep and very pronounced, and I don't know what treatment. So I'm still doing some research. So once I find something that I can feel I'm being convinced, and then I probably will take the plunge and then go for it. But in the meanwhile, I think I'll just leave with my lines on the neck, and it doesn't matter. I'm 53 and I don't really care too much about it, because aging is one of the things that no one can stop, but I'm not too bad, so I'm going to just live with it for the time being. And hopefully this microneedling home set would at least fill it up a little bit, make it less pronounced, but I will keep you posted. And next are some ready to wear that I've got. So first of all is this very long maxi dress from DISSH. This is an Australian brand that I've known them for when they firstly came out, but I've never bought anything from them because the shipping to the UK wasn't probably even possible. But now they have a concession in Selfridges, but there was only just a few items. It's not that the whole collection. So I thought, why don't I just buy a few things online and see how it goes. The dress is okay, but I'm not really impressed with the sewing, because the front two side panels that they're not even. When I tried it on, one side of the collar was yanking to the back, the other side is dropping. I mean, you can see it's still dropping, but I have to move the buttons to adjusting that, make it a little bit even. I wasn't really impressed by the sewing, and also on the side of the sleeves, this bit is flaps a bit. If you're not careful like this, it just constantly rolls out, and I have to make sure that I'm not walk around like this with these bits hanging out. The dresses is not cheap, but I wish they take care a little bit more. Fabrics and the style is superb. The design is really lovely, because I'm quite fussy with sewing, because I can do sewing myself, but I always kind of like quite fussed about it. The style is quite good, and you can see on the screen that I've posted some photos of me wearing this. I worn this a few times because I have a thing for white dress in the summer, and I have quite a few different ones, and I like these ones because it's not completely sleeveless, but it covers the chunkiest part of my upper arm, so I do like it. And this one is really wide, and if I get bigger I can wear it. If I lose some weight, I can just wear it like an oversized look and still looks quite pretty like in the summer. And because for summer clothing you don't really want it to be too clingy, and because they're just like, when you sweat a little bit, it's not very comfortable. They got two side pockets here as well, and I really love this. But because when I ordered it, I ordered two of these at the same time, because for sizing I've never bought anything from them, so I wasn't sure really about the sizing. The sizing in Australia and the UK is identical, and then I returned the larger one. I think this one is Australian 10, but the sizing is really generous, so I returned the 12, just far too big. But when I returned the other dress, I have to pay £15 for it to be returned. It's quite expensive and for the return process, but however I understand it is coming all the way from Australia. It got delivered fairly quickly, within less than a week, but however I feel like really bad with these garments flying all the way from Australia. I have to return it. That's one of the reasons to prevent me from buying from them. But I do really love the aesthetic, the design, but I wish they're so. You can see this bit hanging out. Even though I've secured this bit at the bottom of the shoulder, this seam at the back, but still, it still flaps out. But anyways, but I hope that sewing, the quality will improve. I've also got a couple of waistcoats from them. These two are exactly the same, just in a different color. But you can see that I love the designs of these 4 buttons. Also it's V-neck, and it's not too high, because for me, rising up too high just doesn't suit me. Even though I look at other people wearing them, they look so super chic, but it is something not for me. and you can see this design is really lovely, and it has a tie at the back to adjust the waistline. And for this one I got a size 12 for both of them. This would last me for many years because I can wear this with skirts, with trousers, with shorts, and over other garments, over t-shirts, over blouse, maybe even winter. But I think this is like a linen blend. I'm more impressed with the waistcoats than the shirt dress, and but these waistcoats are really well made, and they just look so super well made garments. It's fully lined and everywhere just like quite nicely detailed. The only thing is there's no pockets, but it doesn't really matter. It's quite long, which I find it quite flattering, and so I do love these two waistcoats. You know how to wear waistcoats, my video, if you haven't watched it, watch it. But this is something just like in addition to whatever I've got, this is something new that I've got in the summer. And the next is a waistcoat set and a long trouser set. This is from Massimo Dutti, and it's quite a wintry thicker fabric, and it's all the way lined, and it's got two concealed buttons to cinch in at the waist, and then being tied around with this very long cord tie to cinch in at the waist. And again, you can see this even is sleeveless, but it's dropped shoulders, and then it covers up the biggest part of my upper arm. And the trousers are very wide, but I haven't really worn this yet. And sometimes I'll buy clothes, I just don't wear them, and then until one day I just keep wearing them repeatedly. I mean, there's something wrong with me, I think. But this is superb quality, but it's still in the current collection, and so I just love this. And I'm going to take some videos with me wearing this and show you how they look on me. And by the way, this is a size medium. Yeah, it's a medium. The trousers is UK 14, medium for the top and 14 for the bottom, because the waist of the trousers is quite narrow, but the white legs are quite chic. So white leg trousers is going to be huge this coming season. And next is something that it's been on my radar for many years, but I've never really took the plunge, but finally I did. And TOTEME Pyjama set. So I got the set, and I've already worn the top because I'm reluctant to wear the top and the bottom at the same time, but I have got both because recently Harrods were doing like 10% off, and then I managed to get 10% off for both garments. I love this black silk. The silk is quite weighty, and the sewing of the pattern with the TOTEME monogram on it is chic, quite timeless and classic. And obviously you see me wearing this in my shorts, and I'm going to leave it on the screen so you can see. I just really love it. And I got this in the size 38, got the size 38, so it's kind of like an oversized look. It's that little jacket lapel collar is very flattering, and if you have a thicker neck and bigger face like me, and this sort of lapel collar, or because it's got a V at the front, is always super flattering. And moving on is something that I've ordered from Hermes from 2 years ago, and lately I get contacted by Hermes saying that it's in store and do I want it. And then this is the first time when I received the email, and I said yes, I'm going to go to the store, pick it up. But however, the customer service person was on holiday, and by the time he came back from holiday, it was already out of those 4-day holding frame. So, but anyways, because I've stopped buying Hermes this year, as I said since my last unboxing, and so I haven't been really going into the boutique to see my regular sales assistant that I used to having a relationship with. And even though she kept texting me, I just basically laid low and not to engage, because if I do go there, I have to go back, get sucked back into it again. But this year I just consciously made a decision that there's no bag that I want on my wish list, and I've already got whatever I wanted. However, this is something that I ordered 2 years ago, and finally apparently it's back in stock. Second time, and finally she or he is back, and because I was busy, so they sent it to my home to me, so I didn't go into the boutique, which was quite nice, because if I go into the boutique and pick it up, if the SA sees me there, and it was going to be not going down too well. And so I got away with it. It was free of charge. They shipped it to my house, which was quite good. So basically is jewelry, it's pair of earrings and a Chandon earring. You see, it's basically is half of a hoop. And let me tell you, I worn this quite a few times, but every time I get really frustrated. This is such an awkward design, and I love this because I got a ring, I got a bangle, and I got everything else. The back of the pin, the secure, you can see there's this like a fine jewelry at the back, the stopper. They have like two things, you push it in and then you release that little stopper and then you push the pin into your ear. But however, the pin, you can see the size of it is not very long, it's very short. So let me show you when I'm putting it on. It just most ever fiddly earring that I've ever came across. And once you push that into the piercing hole and then you put this onto it. Now, I can't find the pin. Now it's in. But this is the thing, I haven't got much of nail. If I grow my nail a little bit longer, oh my God, that would take forever to put that in. And once I put it in, it wasn't click, and then I almost lost it. Luckily, I was still at home that day, and I haven't left the house by then, and then it dropped onto the floor, and it was just like haven't lost, because otherwise I'll be really just not happy with this design. How pretty it is, but it just is the most ridiculous design ever. You can see it's very pretty, it sits on the ear, and it's nice. It just, the design, it just not very nice and practical design. You can see that it sits deep in the hollowing bit. If I'm just put this one on, this one is going to take me forever. You can see how fiddly this is. To be honest, if it's not for how pretty it looks, I don't really want this, because earrings, they never really let you to try it on before you buy. They only let you to hold it against the ear and to have a look how it looks. But oh my God, you think this is so fiddly. It's on. You can see it's on now. It looks nice, and it's not too big, it's not too small. I quite like this size just for daily wear, which is quite nice. But come on, if you're in a rush in the morning, oh my God, don't put this on, because it will stress you out. It stresses me out anyway. It stays on, and it's quite secure, but once you put that stopper onto the pin, there's hardly any left, just tiny, about 1 millimeter left exposed at the back. And if you have a very thick earlobe, and this is just probably, you won't have anything left, and the stopper will be just hanging on the edge, and then at any moment you might lose it. They're very pretty, nice, but I don't really, I wouldn't really recommend anyone to get this, because it's just so fiddly to put them on. One of those things. And last but not least is something from Chanel. I haven't bought anything from Chanel for quite a long time, actually. Last time I bought something from Chanel, when was it? I don't remember when it was. It in 2022 when I went to Saint-Tropez. I got my little vanity case bag. Probably it was back then, because I haven't really bought anything from Chanel for a long time. I got these from Selfridges, and you can see this just the regular camellia, then the ribbon, then the box, and there's a little leaflet telling you how to care for the item. This is little velvety, I think it's plastic cushionings of pouch. This is for their jewellery, usually. And you just open that up. It's this pearl necklace that I've been wanting to get for quite a few years, because when I went to Saint-Tropez, actually, that time, I asked, that was when I went in to ask to see if they have this necklace. And I wanted to get this for quite a long time, because I love this, just a simple Chanel emblem there, and with the pearl. And the pearl is like a gradual, and the gold is like a champagne colored gold. And so I really love this design. I find it quite classy, and I don't really like the really long ones. I always feel like years ago, so oh, that's for older lady, but now I'm an old lady, but I still don't like it. I still haven't changed my mind about it. I just found it is not too practical, and so I would rather just get a single strand, and then quite chic, quite understated. And you can see that there's some chains there, and for adjusting the length, and there is some gradual, obviously man-made pearl, and with this Chanel double C with the mini small pearls on them, and then gradually the pearls just getting bigger and continue to the other side. And at the end of the chain there is a, because this is a special edition, this was the celebrating the 100 years of anniversary of Chanel, and this side is just basically a little C, and on the other side is the 100-year anniversary. So let me put this on to see. I haven't really worn this yet. I got this in July. No, actually, end of June. I haven't really worn it, but I thought this might be a little bit too narrow or too short for me, but actually I really like it, because I was worried it will be like this, but no, actually it's good. So I can have this double C with the pearl on the side, but the other side as well. But you can see that this looks quite pretty, and from afar it's just like a strand of pearl necklace, and with this C there, and it's quite understated. And champagne gold looks quite pretty because almost like a silver tone, and I always mix my metal colors anyway, so silver and gold, and I don't really mind, so it doesn't really matter. It goes really well with the earring, and you can see there's the small hoop. This is the white gold with diamonds, but this one is just a sterling silver. But I think this looks quite nice. And so I'm pretty chuffed with this, because when it came out in the first, for the 100 years anniversary, this was really one of those items really hard to get. And so since then, every time when I go to Chanel, I just ask, do you have this pearl necklace? And do you have this pearl necklace? Because that time when I was in Selfridges, because I normally shop in Harrods, but I rarely go to Selfridges, just because that day my friend and I, we were meeting upstairs in the restaurant, Palo Alto or whatever it is called. We were meeting up there, so while I was waiting for her, so I just went in. I said, do you have this necklace? And then the guy said, oh, let's have a look. And then yes, he has. So I just bought it. It was 25th of June, so about a month and a half ago. So I just been sitting in the box. I haven't really worn it. And it was 770. I'm not sure how much when it was firstly came out, probably £600. Their costume jewellery is always quite reasonable, and I don't have anything fine jewellery except from a vintage watch, but usually my jewellery from Chanel, they're all like costume jewellery. I'm very happy. They're just one of those spontaneous sort of like, I met her finally and then I take her home sort of a occasion. So I'm very happy. And that's it for today, and I hope you've enjoyed my earrings unboxing and the Chanel necklace, microdermabrasion home kit from QURE, a few pieces of clothes. And I hope you like them as much as me. You enjoyed the video, and sorry it's a really chatty one. I just want to give you some background information about it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and also give my video a like, and make sure you switch on that little bell button so you won't miss out on any of my videos for fashion, bags, shoes and jewellery and shopping. I hope I see you in my next video. That's it for now. Bye.